We're here with Farmer Steve at Cedar Meadow Farm. How's it going?
It's going lovely.
Good. It's a good day out today.
Sure is.
Yes. Apologize for having you inside today.
Yeah, I would love to be out, but
Right.
I'm really excited about sharing information here.
So here's a question that we're getting more often from our audience. You talk about nutrients a lot, both in terms of soil and produce. Why are nutrients important to each?
Well, what's interesting is you may have known this, but maybe you didn't put it together. The nutrients that are in our food, calcium, selenium is one more of a minor one, but it's very important. All those nutrients have to be in the soil in order for them to get in your food. So what we apply to our fields, or what is already there, or what we're causing to be biologically available by our regenerative agriculture principles, that is the connection there, how important that is. Now, here's the problem. Farmers are not paid based on the nutrient density or the nutrient quality that's in a tomato, like I grow tomatoes, or that's in my CBD oil. We're not paid for the nutrients that are in that. We're paid basically on yield or the weight of the product. I sell my tomatoes by the pound. You buy them by the pound. You don't buy them based on how many nutrients are in there. It's just kind of assumed that there's a certain amount in there. And that system is, what we've had around for ages. There's starting to be a interest now with some technology we have that we can have to test the quality, the nutrient density of anything we grow, whether it be tomatoes, squash, or again, CBD. So one of the things that I have been testing, and I've been actually doing this for over 20 years off and on, is to see where my produce ranks in the context of the average produce that's in the United States. So the USDA, which is the United States Department of Agriculture, they do have a database of the average amount of nutrients in a tomato or in a butternut squash. So I have tested butternut squash because I grow them, and I am higher in every category. So there's something going on here. And it comes back to the health of the soil. So it's not so much all the time what I put onto the soil, because if we put the wrong types of fertility or wrong types of nutrients on that aren't friendly to the soil, aren't friendly to the microorganisms. See, the microorganisms are designed to function, to be able to help nutrients get into the roots of the plants that eventually yield fruit. So if we make them lazy by not allowing them to function, or by killing them off, by putting bad things in the soil, you're not going to have those nutrients in your plant, in your food that you buy. So I know this is maybe a long-winded answer, but it's important to understand this. This is where regenerative agriculture shines, where you're going to get more nutrients in that apple that you eat, in that tomato, in that squash, or a better CBD product. And we're testing that now as well, and the results are quite encouraging. So there's something to this, and I will admit we're still trying to figure this all out. But this is where the future is going, and we're right there at the tip of the spear. And it's just going to be exciting to see, with technology, but also with tried and true principles of the way we grow our food, how the nutrients, the connection of the nutrients in the field to the produce that we grow.
Very interesting. So would you say that regenerative agriculture and no-till cover cropping really need to go hand in hand in this industry in order for the best produce to be provided?
Yeah, it really comes down to the principles of no-till, using cover crops, and the diversity, as you mentioned. And there, it can get very detailed in that. And again, we're still learning how to effectively do that. But the bottom line is it comes down to understanding how to create an atmosphere or in your soil to create the opportunity for the biological critters that are in there to do their thing. And again, I'll just say that's the way the soil is designed to function. When we do that, the benefit is a better and higher nutrient dense crop that we grow,
which in turn makes us healthier.
That's correct.
Great.
Yep, which that's everybody's interested in that.
Absolutely. So Farmer Steve, a follow-up to that answer to that question is, how can I tell if my produce is nutrient dense?
Well, currently we don't have the technology widely available to do actually a test, but it's coming. It's being worked on. I've had some of the prototypes of that, and it's being refined. We're probably a couple years away. And I mentioned this in my book, The Future Proof Farm, where there'll be a day when you can take your smartphone and plug in a little device that you can go as you're shopping and you can see the nutrients in the tomato or in the sweet corn or whatever you're buying, squash. That'll be a game changer. That has not been perfected yet. So right now, without having a statistical data type way to test, knowing how it was grown is an indicator. It's a clue, not a guarantee. But if the farm that it was grown on is using regenerative agriculture principles, there is a good chance that your product that you're interested in purchasing is more nutrient dense. And that's really all we have to go on right now. Things that have been grown more in a conventional way with full-scale tillage and monoculture and all that, chances are that won't be as nutrient dense. So that's kind of the two decisions. How is your food grown is where you're going to have to fall back on right now.
Okay. As a consumer and as a mom, I want to provide my family with the best nutrients. Who do I go and talk to in order to get this up and center as a focus for the USDA? Do I talk to my congressman? Do I write to the Department of Agriculture? Who do we talk to?
I wish that answer was easy and clear, but it's not. My advice is know your farmer. If you can have a conversation with the person who grows what you're buying, if you're in an area where you have access to that interaction, that's a clear advantage. And just have an interview. I think you'll get a sense if you do a little homework of where is that person they're growing in the ideals that you would like to have. And I'm going to say too that give the farmers a little grace, because sometimes, just to do this way of farming, you don't just snap your fingers and it's all there. Some farmers, they're headed in that direction. From a farmer's perspective, it really is a journey. Just like for consumers, it's a journey to understand better food and where it comes from. So I guess my point is that if in fact you go to a farmer and have these kind of questions, that's going to either incentivize them to look at it stronger or to take it to a better level, or maybe even decide to go this route. And that's why I've said that the consumer is the boss, and this is kind of a good example of that. So I would encourage, if you really want to know the nutrient potential and all that, is to go and to try to find out and talk directly to the farmer who grew that produce. I know it's not possible all the time, winter months and so forth. It is what it is, but it's all part of educating yourself on these type of issues and questions, so you can make as an informed decision as possible.
Well, that sounds like a movement we could all get behind.
There you go.
Right.
That's right.
Good. All right. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yep.